today is one of these episodes where you might come into it realizing I don't have everything figured out. What I love about this space and what I love about this community is that I get to be on journey, teaching you as I go and learning as I grow and getting to pass along just like tips, tricks, nuggets. But here's the deal. Perfection doesn't exist, okay? And so before we even really dive deep into today's episode, I want to remind you of this, that progress is the ultimate goal. You will fall down on your journey. There will be moments where you get off track with things. Seasons will shift and change, and what you thought self-care looked like at one point is going to look totally different in a different season. And that, my friends, is okay. It makes you human. Welcome to the freaking club, right? So the real talk I've got for you today is that a lot of you guys know me. A lot of you know me for my morning routine, okay? I love a good morning routine. I love a solid morning routine. But the truth is I fell off the wagon hard. Like, I want to say like I fell off the wagon hard last week, but if I'm being completely vulnerable and transparent, I fell off the wagon like coming into 2023. And this whole season of shifting my business and just shifting the way I show up and serve the community, it really has come with a lot of shifts in just how I show up. And one of the things that didn't feel authentic to me was the routine that I had cultivated prior to this year, prior to a lot of the shifts. And so even though you might know me for my morning routine, I've honestly felt like a little bit of a fraud lately. But I know, like I said, I'm in a season where my body's trying to tell me, slow down, get rest, shift, do things different than you did before. You know, it can be really easy. I was chatting with a friend earlier today. When we're in uncomfortable seasons, it can be easy to gravitate back towards that which we already know, even if the thing we're gravitating back towards is something we were trying to escape. Case in point, you guys, I look at the Bible and I look at the Israelites who are leaving slavery. They're traveling in the wilderness and they're escaping slavery, and God has brought them out of this space. And what's fascinating to me as somebody who's reading the Bible after this has already happened, and I can kind of like judge it and give my opinion, it's like, why would you go back? Why would you go back to slavery? Like, God has something better for you ahead. Keep moving forward. But what's wild is that is the human condition. Doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what you believe in around here. You're welcome in this space with me. But the human condition is we get stretched. We are on pursuit to something greater, something better for us. And along the way, there will always be this voice in the back of our head that's going to say, hey, remember that thing that, you were doing a couple months ago? I mean, it wasn't so bad, was it? Like, maybe you should just go back and do that again. And I'm finding that is not, when I gravitate back to those, I have to fight so hard against that, because going back to where I once was, it doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve a future version of me. And my friends, it's not serving you either. So even though I felt like really uncomfortable and kind of like a fraud lately because I don't have this like beautifully crafted morning routine, I know that I can give myself rest and slow down and space to figure out the next right thing for me. So hear me when I say this. There is zero shame in listening to what your body needs. That's okay. And if that's you right now, if you're in a season where you're like, gosh, man, Britt, I don't think I can do a morning routine and all this stuff, because you're truly in a season where you need to slow down and maybe readjust some things. Or maybe you have like a child that just isn't sleeping through the night or whatever that is. It's okay to listen to what you need. Listening to what you need is far more important than any message or tip I could ever give you. And that being said, I also know where I'm at in my life. I know the value of my morning routine. And I've been missing that after feeling that I get after I'm done with that time and space in the morning. I know how much better I feel when I wake up and take care of me before I care for others. And to hear from myself before I hear from the masses on social media stealing my attention. Waking up with no intentions and no clear direction, not giving myself that me time, it truly creates a downward spiral in my life. So I'm taking back my morning routine this summer. Hi, here I am for like the ultimate accountability right now. I'm sharing with all of you guys. I'm taking back my morning routine, and I want to teach you how to create a routine that serves you too. I mean, like, let's do an honest check-in. When's the last time you listened to you first in the day? Your intuition, your intentions, your dreams, your worries, even your inner knowing. When's the last time you gave yourself that gift of margin and space? Because this is a gift. That's the gift of a morning routine. It's just a little bit of time set aside before the rest of the world's even awake to energize and align yourself for the day. I promise you that a morning routine has so many benefits beyond just the morning. And what I know is the most successful people that I follow, that I witness, that I see as mentors from afar, they all have one thing in common. Typically, they have a morning routine that is solid. So as uncomfortable as it is sometimes when you're embarking on creating new routines or habits, we're going to dive into this together today, because a morning routine has the power to serve your best self. And here's how: science backed. A morning routine helps prepare you for the rest of the day. How you spend the morning will influence the rest of your day. Ever have one of those days where you just wake up and like everything feels chaotic and rushed? That was literally like the soundtrack to my life, maybe in my 20s. And then I started to cultivate a morning routine, and things shifted in my life. They prepared me for the rest of the day. And with a morning routine, you can then help set the tone for the kind of day that you want. A morning routine also increases your productivity. Every time I give myself a solid morning routine, I swear I'm that much more productive the rest of the day. And there's proof to this. When you can set the focus and intention for the day, you end up spending your time on things that are more valuable and productive to your overall day. It can also lower your stress. Stress can come in thick when you feel like you don't have enough time to do all the things in your day. And when you have the sacred space in the morning, you always know exactly what you should be doing and then what follows. A morning routine can also help you develop healthy habits. So I know it's tempting to hit snooze, stay in bed, scroll your phone instead of getting out, right? But these habits, my friends, tend to be time wasters, hitting snooze, scrolling, right? And it's not serving you. Snooze is not serving you. When you have a routine, it's much easier to say yes to habits that serve the direction of your goals. A morning routine gives you the time to do things you may be putting off, like working out, eating a healthy breakfast. I know with so many women that I work with, they say, I'll do it when I'll do my workout when I'm out of work for the day. I'll make sure. But by that point in the day, we have exhausted all willpower. We've exhausted all quote unquote motivation. And so if you're not disciplined enough, it's going to go to the back burner every single time. In the morning, it's so much easier to streamline tasks that you don't feel like doing later, simply by giving yourself that time and space in the morning when you really are at your peak of motivation and willpower. And the last benefit is that it boosts your energy levels for the rest of the day. The reason so many people hate mornings is because their energy levels are low when the alarm goes off. And I get it. You're tired. Your bed's comfortable. If you're like me, the dogs are snuggling. And I get that. The struggle is absolutely real. And that's normal. But if you can push past that initial, like, I don't want to feeling and get into your routine, I promise you that your energy levels the rest of the day are going to thank you. This quote that I love from Louise Hay that says, how you start your day is how you live your day. And how you live your day is how you live your life. And it's something that we talk about around here all the time, is that the things you do, how you show up, the behaviors you have, show me those actions and I'll show you the kind of life you're going to have, right? It used to be, and I have it on a sign behind me right here. It says, change your thoughts and change your life. And I don't think that's enough. It's not just about changing your thoughts. You actually have to change your actions. You have to change your habits, and then you'll change your life. You want a life that, is filled with more energy and you feel like you're getting more done, you're more productive. Starting your day like that versus hitting snooze and kind of being lethargic is going to give you more of that when you can compound that over and over and over again. So I'm clinging to 5 things this summer in my morning routine that for me are game changers. Okay. And this is what's going to help me cultivate that morning routine that I once had, but like 2.0 version now, as I'm kind of editing some things and adjusting. I'm not focusing, like I said in the top of this episode, on perfection. I'm focusing on these 5 tasks as indicators that I'm moving in the right direction. So number 1 is no snooze, because let's be real, Snooze isn't helping me. It's not helping me have my best morning, and it's not helping you have your best morning. It's disrupting your sleep and leaving you less and less excited about getting out of bed. So as challenging as it is, I'm going to resist the urge to hit snooze this summer, and I highly encourage you to do the same. Figure out what time you need to wake up in order to have enough time for a solid morning, and then commit to it. Even if it's hard to get out of bed, I remind myself of how much better I feel after I have a solid and intentional morning. A solid morning also, you guys, actually starts the night before. So here's what's helpful for me. I lay out my workout clothes the evening before, and I place my phone with my alarm set on top of my clothes in the bathroom. Yes, in the bathroom. I used to sleep with my phone by my bedside, and I realized that I was more prone to hit snooze when I did that. And I was also more prone to pick up my phone and scroll when I did that. So nowadays I put my phone in the bathroom. I can still hear it, you guys. I promise you, you'll be able to hear it. And it helps me have a much more solid nighttime routine, but it's also better for me getting my butt out of bed in the morning. So when that alarm goes off the next morning, I'm forced to walk to my phone that's in the other room. I turn it off, and those clothes that I laid out the night before, because they're already sitting there, I'm going to put on, right? And then I get going with my morning routine. A little disclaimer though, like I said, a solid morning starts the night before. I want to make sure that you understand that going to bed at the same time every night, if you can help that in this season, is going to help you keep that circadian rhythm much more on track so that you don't feel that extreme exhaustion when the alarm does go off. So as much as you can cultivate a solid nighttime routine, as well as, giving yourself the gift of like a better bedtime, maybe a little sooner, getting a couple more hours of sleep, again, if it's possible for you, is going to help that no snooze be a lot easier in the morning. Okay, number 2 is I'm hydrating first. Now, I love my coffee with my morning routine. And if you spent the night here with me, okay, you'd notice that would probably be the first thing I do once I get my workout clothes on. Get my workout clothes on, walk my little buns to the coffee maker. And I also know the value of drinking water first thing in the day. So before the coffee this summer, I'm challenging myself to start my day with water. And another thing I'm shifting in my morning routine that's helpful for my energy levels is not having caffeine on an empty stomach. I've literally always been the girl who drinks coffee first or pre-workout, whatever that morning looks like, but I drink caffeine first without any food in my stomach, without breakfast. And I'm learning that can be damaging for my health. I'm also not a big breakfast person, so this is actually really challenging for me. But what's been working well lately is I've been trying to have these things from Costco. They're called Aussie Bites. You can get them at Sprouts and Costco. If there's other places you can get them, you can totally comment below and let me know, but I get them at Sprouts or Costco, but it's much more cost efficient to get them at Costco. And I'll get a big container, I'll have 1 or 2 with my coffee, and then later after my workout I'll enjoy my actual breakfast. And that's how I've been kind of getting around the whole like eating but I'm not really a breakfast person kind of thing. So number 2 is hydrating first, but also trying to put something in my body before I have that caffeine. Okay, number 3, get grounded in gratitude. I love journaling in the morning, and your practice doesn't have to be fancy. It can simply be a blank notebook, little spiral notebook, and whatever's on your mind. When I first started, I literally started that simple. I would write out 5 things I was grateful for at the top, of a little blank notebook. And then I would write 10 goals I was working on. And the goals could be far, far away goals. They could also be goals about like how I wanted to show up as a human being. And they could be short-term goals. So for example, a far off goal would be, I want to own a house on the ocean. Okay, that's a far off goal. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen anytime soon. But another goal that I could say that's kind of more in line with my character is I want to be a kind and present wife today. Okay, and then that makes my focus more in alignment with the kind of woman I want to be and how I want to show up. The other way I write goals, like I said, is in the shorter term. So maybe it's something I'm working on right now, but I need it to be at the forefront of my mind. So for example, when we were working on our DIY laundry room makeover, it was one of those things that I could easily just put it off. I could easily put it on the back burner. So when I would write in my journal, I complete my DIY laundry room project, it was putting it more to the front of the list so that the things that mattered to me got space in my day. Nowadays, days, I've grown my journaling practice as I've gotten more comfortable and just like more efficient with my time. Again, it doesn't take a ton of time, but if you're newer, you might want something like super quick and efficient, like 5 minutes or so. But for me, I like to spend time with God. I'll either have a devotion that I'm reading, or maybe I'm reading an actual Bible study with a group. But I like to spend some time with God, and I'll brain dump what's on my heart. A lot of times when I brain dump what's on my heart, it's really kind of like a letter and a conversation between me and my creator. I also like to write out my goals, just like I shared with you guys. I love now to celebrate my growth. We don't celebrate our growth or our progress enough. And for me, I can easily tear myself down and just say, I'm not doing enough. I'm not there yet. Da, 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 da. And so instead of doing that, I look at my progress. Okay. Jot a few things that I'm grateful for down, and boom, my journaling practice is done. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. The point is, when we start the day in a posture of gratitude, it centers our mind on what we have in this moment. When we can dump out the things that are on repeat in our head, we can leave more space to process through them, heal through them, and maybe create some room for other thoughts to come in. When you start writing your goals down, like I shared, now you're becoming intentional and focused towards that which matters most. The fourth part of my morning routine is leveling up my mindset. You guys, your mind needs just as much training as your body does, oftentimes even more. That's why therapy is so freaking cool. That's why getting around a counselor or talking to somebody, it's just amazing. The heaviest weight that I think you'll ever have to lose is not on your body, my friends. It's the weight that you carry between your ears. Are you aware of the words that you say to yourself or what you're looping on repeat? We have to capture those negative thoughts and limiting beliefs and replace them with growth and empowerment. So from books or podcasts about confidence to time management to daily discipline to clean eating, there's a tool out there for everything you may be struggling with. So I want to empower you to stop allowing what cycles between your ears to take over your choices. Grab a book or a podcast and spend 10 minutes a day leveling up your mindset before heading out into the world, and you'll be a better partner, a better parent, a better leader because of it. And the last thing that I love to do in my morning routine that I'm committing to this summer is moving my body. So it can be any way that you enjoy or that your body is craving. So stretching counts, you guys. I can't tell you how many times a woman will be like, I walked today, that doesn't count. Heck yes, it does. That's movement. We're just moving our body, doing what it was made to do. So stretching counts, yoga counts, an empowering spin class. Hello, I love that. Strength training, a quick walk with your dogs, it all counts, okay? Starting your day with movement will help you bless your body, keep it functioning at its best, and improve your energy for the day ahead. And that I'm pretty stinging excited about. A couple other things that are just add-ons. I like to think of this like a menu that you pull from. So those are the 5 things that I'm focusing on this summer. I'm focusing on no snooze. I'm focusing on hydrating first, as well as making sure I have something in my system before coffee. I'm focusing on getting with my journal, grounding myself in gratitude, and focusing on leveling up my mindset and moving my body. But that doesn't mean that those are the only things you can do. So maybe you're listening to this episode today and you're like, I'm not really in a season where I can do all of those things. Okay, some is better than none, right? So can you get up 15 minutes earlier and read a chapter from a book that's stretching your mind in a way that maybe you need to be stretched right now? Can you just instead of even worrying about 15 minutes, can you just practice this summer not hitting snooze? Or could you just take 30 seconds and have a glass of water before you do anything else? You guys, the morning routine doesn't have to be this long, drawn out thing. Again, like I said, you can think of it as a menu of choices that help move you in the direction of your best self. So a couple things that you could pull from this menu: no snooze, drinking a glass of water, maybe just doing your morning hygiene routine, whether that's skincare, your dental care, flossing. I don't love you all the time. Whatever that hygiene routine looks like for you. Journaling in gratitude. Maybe it's just a chapter in a growth-based book or a Bible study, devotional that you could tie into your morning. Maybe you're listening to a podcast while you're getting ready, or stacking that habit on with something else like driving to work or walking your dog. There you go. You're even stacking another habit of moving your body. Eating a healthy breakfast. Maybe that's one habit that you want to start implementing in a productive morning, is rather than either not eating at all or grabbing it on the way to work through drive-thru. Maybe you start planning and prepping healthy breakfast options. Maybe this summer is just about making your bed and getting some fresh light into the room and space and opening up your curtains, showering and getting ready. Hello, I work from home, and there are many days where I could just easily not actually go through the routine that I would if I were getting ready to go, say, work in a office. Maybe your morning routine just looks like needing to plan out and schedule your day. Maybe you just get outside and sip your coffee on the patio so you get a little fresh air and sunlight first thing. And maybe it's as simple as telling somebody you love them. There it is, you guys. This is how you can cultivate a morning routine that becomes a game changer for you. What I'm committing to this summer, as I'm getting back into my morning routine, those 5 things, the not hitting snooze, making sure I'm hydrating and having a little something before my coffee, grounding myself in gratitude, picking up a book and getting my mindset right for the day, as well as moving my body. What works for me might not be working for you. And what you have time for one day, you might not have the next. It's not about perfection around here. It's about progress and finding joy in our journey as we're becoming our best selves. So try some of it on for size and see how you feel. Think of this morning routine like a menu you can pull from, just like that checklist I shared, to help you wake up and be the best you can be today. How you start your day, friends, it matters. Your morning becomes your day, and your days become your life. So let's choose well this summer, okay? I'm so pumped that you tuned in to this episode. If you loved it, give it a share on your social media. Tag me when you do so I can celebrate you and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Drop some comments below this and let me know what are some things in your morning routine that you're looking to cultivate this summer, and we can be accountability buddies. We can keep each other focused and on track with the things that matter most. Guys, I'm forever and always rooting for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you right here, same place, same time next week.